I'm.
One, two, three.
I'm going live from the parking lot of Sprouts Farmers Market.
And of course, the truck is parked.
The big truck just pulled up because he knew we were on. So I hope he doesn't want to. Well, fuck you.
No.
Oh, excuse me.
I'm sure he's delivering something we want to buy. So
That's right.
He's a nice, hardworking man.
He is.
And it's a miracle any human being can park a truck like that.
That is true. It takes superhuman skills.
It takes guidance from the Holy Spirit.
And he's a team spirit. I hope. Anyway, here we are. And I'm going to speak a little bit this morning about Constance's favorite magic weapon, which really isn't a weapon, but the lamp. Okay, we're going to talk about the lamp. We had another Monday night class last night, and it was
a miracle.
It was a miracle. We had a nice group of very brilliant people, as a matter of fact, which is just the way we want Monday night class.
Yeah, we tell them we need input, please. You brilliant people in the audience, and the 5 brilliant people in the audience, help.
Yeah,
teach us.
We don't do class to teach anything. We do class to learn shit. But anyway, I'm going to turn it over to hello. Everybody wants to be in the show. Anyway, I'm going to not push finish like I always do. I'm going to turn this around. Let's see. And
I didn't get to see what I look like today. So
yes, you did.
No, you did not.
I showed you to you.
That was last week.
No, just now I did.
Okay. What do I know? I get my coffee at 1 o'clock.
We're 76 years old.
I get my coffee around 1 and 2, and it's getting later every day.
There she is.
Before that, I'm just a shell.
Yeah, well, here's your...
My shell is
introducing the Clephotic Constance.
Well, Lon's going to talk about the lamp, my favorite magical weapon. I guess it's because nobody can tell you what it's supposed to be. No. I just think it's like, well, number one, I just think that's number one. Excuse me.
Well, there you go.
I don't know. And, but it's, well, for some unknown reason, I think everybody in their own way is a hermit carrying the lamp, or maybe a guide on the path, or a trail guide, or
whether we know it or not.
Yeah, whether we know it or not. I mean, even considering you vote by what you buy in the grocery store, or whatever. Everybody blazes a trail, and somebody notices, and it has reverberating effects.
So what?
There's a pretty car.
Oh,
I got hippie station wagon.
There's a hippie station wagon.
It pinned all over it. Anyway,
so we got to be careful.
No, you don't have to be careful what you say. That's another thing. I have problems with, I'm going to change my mind about what I say, and I'm bumbling because I'm a shell this early in this time of day. And cautiousness is the actual worst thing that a prophet or an artist or a preacher or anybody can really have. It's the worst thing, is to be cautious.
It's the difference between caution and mindfulness.
Well, I'm not going to go there right now, but because I will babble things sometimes that I think at the moment I think is true, And I am not going to anymore worry about
how many people you hurt.
That's exactly. Or what a big fool I'm making of myself. Because you know, we all just have to hold our lanterns high and bumble our way through. But everybody is absolutely doing it whether they want to or not. So don't worry about whether you're worthy to share whatever you know or whatever you like.
You're stuck with doing
you
it,
think
yeah.
is important. You're doing it anyway.
Yeah.
So you might as well just stick your foot out, your arm up, and carry that lantern. Express things in the highest way you possibly can, whether you think it's practical or impractical, or how, you know, Pollyannish you think, you know, people think you might be, or oh, you're way too optimistic, or you know, in the human race. Because well, my goofy peace buttons, my peace button, the dove, my dove pin is a symbol of the Holy Spirit, guidance from your true will, and peace. And right there you think, well, and these other related things too, but you think, well, that's just, you know, the only real peace is above the abyss, where there's no conflict, no opposites, and that's kind of what the top one is. It's like, okay, but below here, all we see is the conflict, and for some reason, we only see the war and the suffering and the negative. I mean, okay, I do lately, misery and things like that, and we forget that those other things are even possible. I mean, political parties they all want to compromise with the worst kind of crap, because they don't even see that real peace and real equity and balance is possible. But it's out there. If it is below the abyss, there's got to be an absolute equal amount of it to balance out the negativity. It's there, but we're not even looking at the other side for some reason lately. Yeah. We're only looking at one side. We're only looking at solve everything by war and solve everything by disputes and by compromise, which never ends in peace. People, you don't leave that compromised battlefield thinking that everything is okay. You're still worried about somebody attacking you or doing something afterwards. So you have to think that you're going to have to arm for war because, you know, okay, there's temporary peace here, but our big thing now is to arm. So we keeping the peace by arming is the goddamn dumbest thing in the world anyway. But it's so illogical that you can't even believe humans have thought of it.
Remember when we were hippies and
peace and love. I mean,
and we dropped out because it appeared that we were heading for an apocalyptic big climax.
You mean for what's happening now?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's pretty much so. Yeah. But Charlie and I wrote a song called "Ain't No False Tornado." And talking about sort of like the Edgar Casey into the world things, where these will be the signs. There'll be Mount Etna will blow up, taking me quite literally. A cone of smoke in Italy will tell you that there's soon to be a change. Things go up and things go down, and what is water will be ground. The whole darn planet will be rearranged. But the whole idea. The bottom line chorus is...
is the screen on you?
No.
If you're talking.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll turn it around here. And, but please don't scream or faint with dread. It's not location, but your head, which separates the wheat from the shaft or the tare. The wheat shaft from the tare.
It's not shaft, it's chaff.
Chaff, yeah.
Chaff.
Okay.
It's like the bran.
And the tare is like the fox, or what's that?
Foxtail.
Foxtail. It's not location, but your head that separates the wheat chaff from the tare. And if you like things as they are, that's how you'll have it, but quite far from those good folks who know for what to care. We were so young and idealistic. Okay, the camera's back on you, darling.
Oh, I was wondering what you were talking about.
Oh.
Related to the lamp.
Yeah.
Well, okay, anyway. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Anyway, art, not just art, but in everything you do in life is you're holding your lantern. So hold your lantern high. Go ahead, be idealistic and hopeful. You know, even though it looks like crap, realize that you've got to be only seeing half of it, because unless you're seeing above everything, and then you see. Then I'd like to at all times. I do maybe every now and then for a brief few seconds. So hold your lantern high this week.
And remember, that was the Rolling Stones.
I think that's what.
Was that in His Satanic Majesty's
request? I think
request. So. We were programmed early in our hippie years with the Beatles and the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, and other things. Our music seemed to be prayers. And,
hymns.
Hymns.
Yeah.
Good advice. Don't know.
Okay, dear.
I'm going to buy some stuff.
Go buy some stuff.
My shell has a list a little bit to help me. So.
Okay. Okay, that's this morning's talk from Clephotic
Constance.
Clephotic Constance.
Hold your lantern high.
Hold your lantern high. And
don't be afraid of it,
Yeah, and don't
people,
Yeah, don't worry about
you have to speak your word anyway.
Yeah, do it on it. Be unattached, because you have no idea who needs your light today. There you go. Are you going to get us some
light?
Some broccoli?
Well, that goes without saying.
Now,
the DuQuettes love their. Well, let's put it another way. DuQuettes eat a lot of broccoli and cauliflower. We're lucky that cauliflower here is, for some reason, at Sprouts, organic cauliflower is like half the price as it is at the co-op or anywhere else. So
we like cauliflower and everything. Cauliflower soup.
No, but it's good. It is
cauliflower cupcakes.
He's lying.
Cauliflower.
As usual. I'm going now while Lon lies to you.
I'm taking the car in tomorrow to try to see
if they can stop some of the leaking that's going to happen in this car when it rains.
When it starts to rain, so.
I think winter is coming early. I feel it.
Yeah.
I'm getting worried.
Winter's coming.
I know. It's
Little Prince.
Oh,
okay, that's.
My God, I can stand upright. Okay.
Okay, I'll be in. Please get the code to the restroom.
Sometimes they give it to you, sometimes they let you in.
I know. So you have to get a code to go to the restroom here at Sprouts, because so many people enjoy using their restroom to fix up. Yes, what are you looking for?
Is my mask here?
Your mask is not here.
Okay, it must be here somewhere. I'll find it, thank you. I'm sorry to bother you again.
Okay.
Well, maybe I won't.
Excuse me for a second. You want this mask?
Ew. Is that mine?
No. Your mask has lipstick on it. Excuse us. Is it in?
I found a black one at the bottom of my thing, so
okay.
I'll be all right. Thank you. Thank you for the sorry for the interruption.
All right. Constance mentioned it just a minute ago about how the lamp, the magician's tool, you can't even call it a weapon, really. Okay, it's different. And in book 4, part 2, Constance is adjusting her pants. I would share it with you, but it'd be unforgivable. He talks about the magical weapons. He wrote book 4, part 1 and 2 pretty early in his career, but he was really on a roll. And so in it, he discusses, in the part 1, he discusses mysticism. And it sort of gives us, late 19th century, early 20th century British point of view on things like yoga and pranayama and dharana and which it's a pretty good essay, but compared to the literature and technology today, it's kind of funky. But part 2 was Magick, and he talks about the magical weapons, or the magician and his tools and his temple. Okay, and very often he uses his. Okay, but Crowley had so many women disciples and students and things that he wasn't being chauvinistic in that way. Okay, but and he talks about the magician's clothes, the crown and the robe, and the temple itself, the room, the circle, the design of the circle, and the triangle, then the altar, and the weapons that are on the altar. There's the classic wand, cup, sword, and disc, and he has a little essay on each one of those. And but he examines them from a Kabbalistic point of view, like the wand is the magician's will, and the cup is his understanding, and of course you're projecting that on the tree of life, like the wand's instrument is number 2 Hokmah on the tree of life, or Yod of Yod He Vav He, and the cup is Bina on the tree of life, or number 3 the magician's understanding, and so it's a crash course in Kabbalah too. And then there's the sword, which is the magician's ruach, or intellect, and that's Sephira 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and the disc is Malkuth, number 10 on the tree of life, and the magician's nourishment. And it's really a nice little set of essays that you could just bring your Kindle into the bathroom and read it in one morning's evacuation. And then he talks about the sort of the secondary implements, the chain and the scourge, and then he talks about the oil, the anointing oil, and it's absolutely wonderful stuff. But finally he comes to the lamp. And very often when we think about the lamp, we think about who holds the lamp, just as Constance was talking about this morning. Honestly, whether we think we're a magician or not, if we're sucking breath in and out, and we're moving within the dimensional unreality of objective existence, we hold a lamp. Whether we know it or not, whether we recognize it or not, whether we acknowledge it or not, we hold a lamp. And that lamp, for good or ill, is shedding its light on everything, on those around us. And in the magician's career, the magician, of course, is to gain that singularity of consciousness, that illumination that is attempted to be described as the levels of consciousness associated with the supernal triad on the tree of life. It's the magician's. It's not even a duty. It just happens to shed a particular light that, the degree associated with number 3 on the tree of life is called Master of the Temple. It's across the abyss. All duality has been reconciled. There are no opposites anymore. And the magician, to all intent and purposes, becomes a Nemo, a nomad, because everything that the mechanics of thought have conspired to make the magician identify with a self has been dissolved. Okay, Nemo. And this lamp of understanding, the light goes forth just like the hermit holding the lamp high for all below. And the hermit doesn't have the machinery anymore to give a shit about who the lamp light falls on. I wrote a song to the tune of "It Was a Very Good Year," talking about my OTO career and things like that, because the OTO just has 3 main degrees: the hermit, the lover, and the man of earth. And the hermit is just that, the hermit. And I said, and now a hermit I be. I've moved away from the camp. I tend a garden so rare, but I don't really care what blooms and what dies. Both the fool and the wise receive the light from my lamp. And I keep that in mind as I'm going through Crowley's few little words here about the lamp. And if I can get my eyes focused, I'm going to share it with you. And, there we go, come back on. In Liber A Vel Armorum, the official instructions of the AA for the preparation of the elemental weapons, it is said that each symbolic representation of the universe is to be approved by the superior of the magician. Okay, that, in other words, if you're in an official student-teacher relationship, you say, well, now it's time for me to do my first magical weapon. I'm going to design my disc. That's the first one you do. And here I think would be a good design for my disc. And you submit it to your superior and say, would this work? and the superior would look at your design for your pantacle and say, well, you're supposed to actually be able to put everything in existence on your disc. Where might I find where might I find love on this, or where may I find intelligence on this, or where could I find light on? And if you can't point out in your design absolutely everything or absolutely anything, then your superior might say, well, why don't you think about that for a while and come back with maybe a tweaked design that, and so you come back and finally your superior says, okay, that one's good. Okay, I approve. And then you go ahead and make that. Okay, that's supposed to take place with the disc and your sword and your cup and your wand. But the rule for the lamp is waived. To this rule, the lamp is an exception. It is said, quote, "The magical lamp that shall burn without wick or oil, being fed by the aether, this shall he accomplish secretly and apart, without asking the advice or the approval of his adeptus minor," unquote. This lamp is the light of the pure soul. It hath no need of fuel. It is the burning bush, inconsumable, that Moses saw, the image of the Most High. This lamp hangeth over the altar. It hath no support from below. Its light illumines the whole temple, yet upon it are cast no shadows, no reflections. It cannot be touched. It cannot be extinguished. In no way can it change, for it is utterly apart from all those things which have complexity, which have dimension, which change and may be changed. When the eyes of the magus are fixed upon this lamp, naught else exists. Now, the magus is the grade name for number 2 on the tree of life. The instruments lie idle on the altar. That light alone burns eternally. The divine will that was the wand is no more, for the path has become one with the goal. The divine understanding that was the cup is no more, for the subject and the object of intelligence are one. The divine reason that was the sword is no more, for the complex has been resolved into the simple. And the divine substance that was the pantacle is no more, for the many hath become the one. Eternal, unconfined, unextended, without cause, without effect, the holy lamp mysteriously burns. Without quantity or quality, unconditioned and sempiternal is this light. It is not possible for anyone to advise or approve, for this lamp is not made with hands. It exists alone, forever. It has no parts, no person. It is before I am. Few can behold it, yet it's always there. For there is no there no here, no then, nor now. All parts of speech are abolished save the noun. And this noun is not found either in human speech or in divine. It is the lost word, the dying music, of whose sevenfold echo is E, A, O, and A, U, M. Without this light, the magician could not work at all. Yet few indeed are the magicians that know of it, and far fewer they that have beheld its brilliance. The temple and all that is in it must be destroyed. Yeah, I'm going to say that again. The temple and all that is in it must be destroyed again and again before it is worthy to receive that light. Hence, it so often seems that the only advice that any master can give to any pupil is to destroy the temple. Quote, whatever you have and whatever you are veils before that light. Yet in so great a matter, all advice is in vain. Now, this is something, what I'm about to say here, what Crowley is about to say, should bring great comfort and discomfort to those who would presume to take on students or to students that would submit to a teacher. Here's what Crowley says, quote, there is no master so great that he can see clearly the whole character of any pupil. What helped him in the past may hinder another in the future. Yet since the master is pledged to serve, he may take up that service on these simple lines. Since all thoughts are veils to this light, he may advise the destruction of all thoughts, and to that end, teach those practices that are clearly conducive to such destruction. These practices have now fortunately been set down in clear language, of course, by the order of the AA. Okay. In these instructions, the relativity and limitation of each practice is clearly thought, and all dogmatic interpretations are carefully avoided. Each practice is in itself a demon, which must be destroyed. But to destroy it, it must first be evoked. Shame upon that master who shirks any one of these practices, however distasteful or useless it may be to him. For in the detailed knowledge of it, which experience alone can give him, may lie his opportunity for crucial assistance to the pupil. However dull the drudgery, it should be undergone. If it were possible to regret anything in life, which is fortunately not the case, it would be the hours wasted in fruitful practices which might have been more profitably employed in sterile ones. For Nemo, in tending his garden, seeketh not to single out the flower that shall be Nemo after him. And we are not told that Nemo might have used other things than those which he actually does use. It seems possible that if he had not the acid or the knife or the fire or the oil, he might miss tending just that one flower which has to be Nemo after him. I tend a garden so rare, and I don't really care what blooms and what dies. And that is Parking Lot Tuesday for today. Sorry we're a little late, but we're usually a little late on Tuesday. And I hope my car here will be all sealed up and ready, and I still have a, it's going to be expensive, but we got to do it, because this is a 1984 Volkswagen Vanagon. I like it. It's the envy of everyone in Sacramento. And I'm just probably going to hold on to it for the duration. So keep your fingers crossed and hope that they don't charge me both arms and both legs. Until tomorrow. I may be a little late because my appointment tomorrow to get the car looked at is at 9:30 in the morning, about 5 miles from here. So there may be a little interruption, but rest assured there'll be some kind of visit with you tomorrow. So I'll have a full report tomorrow. Until then, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.